Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Your photograph appears to be a little different. Your hair has grown or
Yes, sir. My hair has.
I would like to go to salon.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
or is it some kind of a vow you have taken? If I get into civil services, I will offer this.
No, sir. I'm sorry. I should cut it. I'll definitely go and cut it.
Mask.
If you're comfortable.
Yes, sir. I'm comfortable.
We can hear you better.
Thank you, sir, for offering.
So you were born in Karimnagar.
Yes, sir. I was born in Karimnagar.
And you studied in Warangal also.
I studied in Warangal in my 10th class.
Good. How your parents shifted to Warangal, or you were in a hostel, or
Sir, I was with my grandparents, sir. I was living with my grandparents, but my parents have moved to Hyderabad in my 6th class.
okay. So you did not study in Hyderabad, but you remained with your grandparents. And
Yes, sir. In 10th class, I remained with them.
and then you joined a factory called Sri Chaitanya. There are so many Sri Chaitanya. Which particular Sri Chaitanya did you join?
Sir, I joined in the Hydernagar branch near Kukatpalli.
The hostel.
Yes, sir. In the hostel, I have joined in the hostel.
2 years or
2 years, sir.
2 years. Then you got into IIT,
Yes, sir.
Hyderabad,
Yes, sir.
and computer science and engineering.
Yes, sir.
After that, that's 2016. Presently, are you working or?
Sir, I joined a startup immediately after giving mains this year, sir. So, but there was a break from 2018 till this year 2021. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you comfortable?
Yes, sir. I'm comfortable.
In case you want to go a little back, in the chair, in the chair.
Thank you, sir.
Be comfortable.
Rest yourself. Rest yourself.
Thank you.
Right. So, you belong to Telangana,
Yes, sir. I belong to Telangana.
and that too, a very important part, the Godavari Krishna Madhya Pradesh. So, that is the cream of the Deccan Plateau. And if somebody who doesn't know much about Telangana, he say Bihar or something, ये तेलंगाना क्या चीज है? Tell us in about 3 minutes about Telangana. How would you respond about Telangana? Whatever you want to say. Go ahead, 3 minutes.
Sir, I would say Telangana is the latest state in the list of states of India. It is the 29th state, formed on 2nd of July 2014.
Right.
2nd of June, sir. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. And the movement for Telangana separation has been there since independence, especially in 1948. It started as a communist movement for the separation of Telangana against the feudal system of Nizams, especially. And then later on, in 1969-72 as well, there were good sparks in the movement, and finally in 2014 the central government has agreed to bifurcate the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh into a new state, so Telangana. And so previously, regarding the history before independence as well, it was part of the Hyderabad state under Nizams. And regarding the culture, sir, Telangana has a syncretic culture, I would say, which has the culture of localites from different areas, for example, Warangal or Karimnagar as well, and also the culture of Nizams who have established themselves as a great power in 18th century, sir. And this syncretic culture is also can be seen in the capital city of Hyderabad. And some of the festivals we celebrate are one of the major festivals is Batukama festival, which is unique to Telangana, which includes women using flowers to sing songs and finally celebrating them together and leaving the flowers in the water. And sir, regarding the cuisine, I would say apart from the Nizam's famous cuisine, which is biryani and Irani chai, among others, Telangana is also famous for some of the snacks which we provide, which is sakinalu, which are made of rice. And sir, regarding the people of Telangana, I would say uh, the the Honorable Chief Minister of Telangana has chosen, and the cabinet, along with the cabinet, has chosen deer, spotted deer as a state symbol, state animal, because it represents the sensitivity and innocence of Telangana people. And I would agree with it, sir. Some of the qualities which can be seen in the people of Telangana is innocence and sensitivity. So,
Good.
yes, sir.
You would have explained something about the crafts of Telangana also. Can you explain about the crafts?
Yes, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. So the crafts, one thing I remember is Cheriyal scroll painting, sir, which is quite famous, which depicts the scenes from mythology. And there is an art form associated with Cheriyal scroll painting also, where the artists come and recite the stories while displaying the paintings. And there is also toys from Kondapalli and Nirmal paintings.
Kondapalli is from which state?
Sir, I'm sorry, sir. It is from Andhra Pradesh, yes. And Nirmal paintings, sir. And there is an artware from Karnataka, which is Bidriware, which is also being practiced in Hyderabad, sir. So it belongs to Telangana as well, is what I would say.
Prior to Corona and post Corona,
Sir.
how is the business of Flipkart? You worked in Flipkart.
Yes.
Has the business improved substantially or has it come down? How do you explain?
Sir, I do not have the facts and numbers, but I have information.
Yes.
Sir, I think,
Gone up or it will have come down?
sir, it has gone up, sir, because of the information I got from my colleague, sir, ex-colleague who was working there. Because since people have taken to the digital ways of buying things, especially from Amazon and Flipkart, the e-commerce sales have gone up, is what I heard from my ex-colleague, sir.
You are also a computer science engineer.
Yes, sir.
In what way the blockchain technology could be used in improving our way of living in Telangana state?
So one of the primary uses of blockchain technology is a distributed ledger model, and which provides authenticity to the transactions. So,
Proper check.
sir, centralized model definitely provides authenticity, but it is vulnerable to attacks and loopholes, sir, because a centralized system can be easily hacked, especially when it is a digital system. So, whereas a distributed ledger cannot be hacked easily, because one of the parts of it can be hacked, but the other parts still show the still have the authentic characters of the transaction. So that is why distributed ledger is more authentic and more safe than a centralized system in this aspect. So blockchain provides that authenticity, and since land records has a major use in authenticity, and we need a chain of purchasing and buying, selling of land records. So blockchain can help in digitizing of the land records, sir, especially. Maybe it can be integrated in the new Dharani portal, which has been launched in Telangana. And apart from land records, sir, it can also help in health sector as well, because each patient can have its own, his or her own records, which can be looked at by different doctors in today's digital age. So these are the two things which I can apply as of now.
One of your parents hails from Warangal, the other one from Karimnagar.
Yes, sir.
These two are expected to become smart cities.
Yes, sir.
So, what way are they going to become different from ugly cities?
Sir, one difference in the objectives, one objective where we can see a difference is that smart cities provide better sanitation, sir, because smart cities need not be just in the form of digitally developed or digitally accessible. smart cities have to be neat also is what the central government opines. And I think we can see a better transformation in the sanitation and the cleanliness of the city because the city has to be clean before it is smart. And regarding the digital transformation, sir, there, I think going ahead in the future, there will be public Wi-Fi's put up at different places, and there will be good transport systems connected to even the remote areas of the district.
When you refer to a clean city, is it a city which has to be physically clean where sweeping takes place every day in the morning and the evening, or is there something else to be called as a clean city?
Sir, what I meant is usually the cleaning physically clean city, sir. But taking a cue from your question as well, I think people's minds have also to be clean apart from being physically clean.
Solid waste versus some other waste that the cities generate.
Thank you for the hint, sir. Sir, even solid waste management has to be well managed because collection of solid waste and separation of wet and dry waste even from the homes should happen. That will ensure that there is good disposal and following of environmental norms happens in the city, sir. Sir, I think my knowledge is not enough to discuss in deep regarding the liquid waste, but I think the same has to happen.
Types of liquid waste are generated from the households in a town.
Sir, one is the water which we use for washing, for cleaning, that water as well, and the human waste disposal is also one of the liquid waste which gets generated in the homes.
In say Karimnagar or any town or Hyderabad.
I'm sorry, sir. I think my knowledge. I don't have enough knowledge in that area.
There used to be something called the ranking for the ease of doing business in different states in the now. How was it? How are the states being ranked before, and what is the basis for ranking them now? Is there any relationship between this ranking and the actual objective of getting investment? Do you know anything about this?
Sir, I can recollect a few factors which give the ranking, sir. One is provision of electricity, provision of good transport, and easy taxation norms, and easy way to get ease of getting permission for buildings and constructions. So these are the few I am able to recollect as of now, sir.
Does it mean that you automatically get investments from the prospective investors into the state? Is it enough to have a good rank?
Sir, just having a rank would not assure us of the investments. Even safety and peace in the city must also prevail to get good investments. And apart from that, there are other factors also, sir, because for example, if we take the example of Bangalore, sir, the climate of Bangalore also attracts many employees who go and want to work there, and some factors which are out of our hands are also impacting the investment climate is what I believe.
For a businessman to invest, the bottom line is profits. The cost of doing business and the profits, the profitability. So how does the other factor like say cleanliness or lots of trees or other enabling environment where you have something else affect the decision to invest? So what is critical for an investor to invest? Not just land, but it's cost of doing business.
Yes, sir.
All right. There is a talk about Mission Karma Yogi in the context of civil services reforms in the country. Have you heard of it? And what is it expected to do to bring in reforms?
Sir, I've heard about it, sir. Mission Karma Yogi is a national program released by the government of India, which the major philosophy behind Mission Karma Yogi is that each civil servant is expected to behave like a Karma Yogi. And Karma Yogi means a person who does his work, who is expected to do his work as a dharma without worrying much about the results. So, the government of India wants every civil servant to get to build those qualities and use that approach in the working model, sir. And some of the ideas included in Mission Karma Yogi is 360 degrees feedback and regular updation and training of civil servants, which is like learn till retirement is one of the concepts included in the Mission Karma Yogi.
Finally, from my side, some of these occupations like drivers, they are going to be useless in future when AI, since you are a computer service science engineer, they are going to be useless. They are going to be redundant. Your Tesla car, where it can be run. So, what do you think is going to be the scenario? If AI gets deeper into our own country, which professions are going to be lost, and what is the scenario that you are thinking of?
Sir, when there is an influx of AI in the future, there are some jobs which require low level of skills, like you said, driving or cleaning perhaps, because the robots can replace cleaning of manholes also. So these kind of jobs have a threat of being replaced by the robots, sir. So I think one thing which the government and the people also can keep in mind to tackle this task ahead is upskilling of these employees, sir, whoever is working in the low skill sector. So if they can try to learn skills to work along with robots, because even though if Tesla comes in India as well, there will be difficulties to manage it without a driver who takes care of the safety, ensures the safety. So I think upskilling of the drivers to use such new products can take us can give us a headspace to give them more better skills until sometimes, sir.
What do you think the country is going to do in support of this through the National Education Policy 2020 in this direction?
Sir, in National Education Policy, from what I remember, sir, there is an inclusion, there is a provision of computer science teaching as well, even right from the school level. So I think right from that age, if people are prepared to use computers and even building algorithms, that will help them in getting new that will help them get ready to get the new jobs which are being formed due to AI transformation.
Probably you said even communists also did their bit, for separate Telangana as part of giving a profile of Telangana as such, so-called Saida Poratam and all. Was that Saida Poratam for separate Telangana? Once again, come back on that.
Sir, I am sorry, I am not well aware whether it is only for the separation of Telangana, or the main aspect there was to fight against the feudal system, sir, and and fight for freedom from the Nizams. So that was a main aspect, but there was also a little element of Telangana included, but that might not be the major aspect, and my knowledge is not enough to discuss on that. Sir, by syncretic culture, what I mean is a new culture which is developed by mingling of different cultures. And for example, in Telangana, sir, if we take the example of Bonalu, I've seen in multiple places that both Hindus and Muslims are also participating in local festivals like Bonalu, sir. So I believe that is one of the aspects of syncretic culture, because in old city areas like Falaknuma and other areas of old city as well, I've seen where people participate in both the festivals belonging to both the communities. So this is what I meant by syncretic culture.
Okay, what role culture played in separate Telangana movement? Has it got any place in realization of this role of separate Telangana?
Sir, yes, sir. It has got a primary place, I would say, in realization of the goal, because an identity of a person belonging to a state has major learnings from its own culture. As a separate identity forms using the separate culture of that particular state. So regarding Telangana, sir, I think culture, the new avatar of Telangana Talli, which has been formed during the movement, has also helped in developing the culture and displaying of new festivals like Batakamma to others, and even being and even having a sense of pride in using the language itself is also one of the aspects of culture, sir.
That is political science and international relations. I keep coming across this word quad in newspapers these days. What exactly it is, and somehow I get a feeling that this quad is somewhat a misplaced initiative of the government. What is your take on that?
Sir, Quad is an alliance of democracies in the Indo-Pacific region, as a new term which is the confluence of the seas of Indian Ocean and Pacific Ocean has happened, and a new concept called Indo-Pacific has been formed. There was a need to tackle the aggression of China, especially in this part of the ocean. And Quad, while the democracies are coming together to ensure the safety of the sea lanes of the Indo-Pacific, and also to work on the development, it does not necessarily mean that the Quad initiative is against the aggression of China. It does not exclude any country, is what the Honorable Prime Minister has also communicated recently in one of the.
Not to seas. So why are we wasting our energies on seas? Why are we creating this quadrilateral thing and bringing all kinds of people together as policemen in the Indo-Pacific Ocean? While the threat is from the land side.
Sir, I agree that majorly for India, as of now, the threat is from the land side, sir. But China, using its initiative of Belt and Road Initiative, is fast getting connected to the sea lanes, because using the CPEC corridor or even the CMEC, which is through Myanmar, it is getting connected to the different parts of Indo-Pacific, and there are many choke points in the Indo-Pacific region where major trade happens, and especially in the South China Sea, the aggression of China and claiming some of the islands of other nations as hers is one of the reasons why we are concentrating more on the marine area as well.
There are any lessons from this pandemic. What lessons can we draw? What lessons can we learn as India?
First, I will tell personal lessons and I would go later, sir. Sir, personally, what I learned from the pandemic is that cleanliness, irrespective of whether it is needed or not, is compulsory, and that has become mandatory. So, washing hands till now has been a task, but now it has become a norm, and I think I would go with that, sir. And for the nation as a whole, sir, I think it has brought out the loopholes in the health sector, health systems, whatever we have, and we have realized that the current capacity which we have is not enough to serve when there is a pandemic like this. So it has helped us in realizing the loopholes and in the health sector, as well as, sir, it has also made us realize that whenever there is a pandemic or a big crisis like this, the inequalities keep increasing, and there is a divide digitally as well. There is different access levels. For example, the poor and vulnerable are not able to access education as well as the comfortably off are able to access. So
Does it call for, since you are also forayed into international relations, so does it have any implications?
sir, yes, the major lesson in global level is that since there is no pandemic which has happened after such an extent of globalization, so it has shown us that any trigger or any crisis which happens at one part of the world can affect the whole world, and it has made us learn that cooperation is very much needed in today's age of globalization to tackle any new issues like climate change or new pandemics which are going to come. So I believe the lesson is to tell us to cooperate more and evade such crises.
In terms of production of vaccines, and they are trying to sell, and companies are looking for huge orders, so everybody wants to make a killing and make the best out of the situation.
So it is true, sir. Unfortunately, it is happening that some nations are resorting towards vaccine nationalism. But I believe, sir, India is one of the white spots in the whole world in this aspect, because we are actively participating in the Vaccine Maitri program, and we are setting ourselves as an example to other nations, and many nations have appreciated this approach, and even USA recently, when one of the special envoys visited, he was also praising the program, sir. So I think we should keep doing it.
I think you have worked in Flipkart now. This e-commerce model of revenue model, business model, whatever people I understand is driven by lots of losses, high sales, a lot of loss. So what is this model? Why people should go for this? Because it's anti-business profitability and all that. You look at even Amazon, in 24th year they declare profit. And I recently looked at numbers of Big Basket, Mahindra, all of them are reporting huge loss. So what is your take on this? What is your understanding? How can you explain this to the lay students, as a business model? Is it good?
Sir, from my understanding, sir, the fundamental philosophy behind this loss-making yet growth approach is banking on the future, sir. Because currently, what the companies, Flipkart, Amazon, or other e-commerce companies are trying to do is attract customers and make customers habituated to the e-commerce atmosphere. As of now, even though today they would not earn profits, going ahead in the future, because more and more people in India are going to use mobile and get connected to internet, the usage will increase drastically and profits will come in the future, and they are banking on this future is what I understand.
But these business about bottom line and not about very speculative and long gestation profit.
Sir, I think business should be both current oriented as well as short term oriented as well as long term oriented, sir. For short term oriented, Flipkart and Amazon, they are venturing into different businesses as well. For example, sir, Flipkart has ventured into a United Payments Interface company called PhonePe, which is currently making good amounts of revenue compared to other companies. So I think it is doing both, banking on the long term returns as well as investing in some of the short term oriented goals.
Your background looks very interesting. You are always the top 10-15% of the students, and your MCET rank is also, I think, 17th or 18th. Then you got into computer science, then into IIT. Then your hobbies show that hip hop, rock, rap, all are your interests. So I felt you actually hit a jackpot to go to do, some of these exciting things, get into artificial intelligence, robotics, all these emerging technologies. You are on track, on a fast track. You seem to have been stepped back and looking at administration, mundane things. So what is the change that has occurred?
Sir, firstly, I would not say I stepped back, sir. I would say I have taken a different direction. I have taken a different way, but it is definitely not stepping back from the path, sir. And the reason why I want to get into the civil services is also, firstly, sir, till 2018, I did not have any idea of wanting to prepare for civil services, sir. But in 2018, one of my friends has cleared the exam, and I have seen a tremendous transformation in him, especially his qualities and the way he is behaving and talking. And I wanted the change for myself, and I thought just by preparing for the exam, I can be able to get those qualities. So I started preparing for the exam for that particular reason at that point of time. But once I ventured into the preparation and I spent 6 to 7 months in the preparation, I realized that the goal is much more than just gaining those qualities. The goal is to put those qualities to use. So while I'm trying to get those qualities, I'm also excited to put those qualities to use for the society as well. So that is one of the reasons which made me move towards this career.
A lot of idealism is driving you now.
Sir, I think I believe in idealism, sir. Although, even though if practically it might not be possible to implement whatever we see as ideal, still our goal should be more oriented towards idealism, is what I believe, sir.
I like the way you presented about Telangana. 2-3 minutes. Recently, there was a news item saying in Yangon, Pemberton, there is a lot of gold and silver found. Real estate chaps, we found a lot of gold, silver. But what is Pemberton famous for?
Sir, I'm sorry, sir. I haven't heard about the news, and I'm also not aware of what Pemberton is famous for.
That's where
It's now district Janagaon. So going from Hyderabad to Warangal, Pemberton comes on. Anyway,
Pemberton, I finished.
Last
Pemberton
question.
is very famous for Vishwakarma, who are very good at brass work. If you go to Moradabad in north, they are very skilled. Similarly, in Telangana, it used to be very, very famous. There was a village, a lot of Vishwakarmas were there. They made a lot of brass work. I think even you find it. So there you suddenly found gold and silver. That was something. But the story I want to tell you is that these Vishwakarmas are in very bad state. Their trade and skill is all declined. So perhaps we should read of that.
good.
Sir.
To this mock interview, at the end of which I feel you are extremely well informed and your communication skills are of a very high order. When is the interview?
Sir, it is on the first day, which is April 26th. April 26th, the first day.
It will be advisable for you to shave on that day. And if possible, you can now give me an impression of being a hip hop artist. So maybe have a haircut.
Yeah, mine is the guitar.
Sure.
So, even this kind of a dress is okay. If you can have this pan color is very good. A white shirt or something like that is even better. Okay. Now, while I'm very impressed with the wide range of knowledge you have, there are a few gaps. Because when he asked about Telangana arms struggle, Telangana side of Pratam, even your father was not born then. Therefore, you admitted that you did not know much. It was not an armed struggle for separation. It was undoubtedly an armed struggle against feudalism, against, in a way, the Razakars and the theocratic model that the Nizam had. But basically, it was done by the Communist Party, and they had only two models. One is the Lenin's model of capturing political power through armed revolution. So that is why they call it Sayuda Poratam, armed struggle. So that was the main aim. Their aim was to capture power in the old Hyderabad state. It was not Telangana. It also existed in Aurangabad to some extent. It also existed in Bidar, Gulbarga, Raichur and all that. But maximum was in Telugu speaking area. And it was encouraged from the communists by the coastal Andhra Krishna and Godavari. That's the background. They wanted to first liberate this part of India and eventually capture power in Delhi. Unfortunately, after the instrumental accession or Operation Polo and Hyderabad became part of India, their enemy became none other than the mighty Indian state. And they crushed. About 5,000 communists were killed. And then they had a second opinion. They thought we must suspend this. Ravinara and Reddy and others, they have said, okay, we have committed a mistake. We are not ready to face the government of India. The Indian state is too strong. So they suspended, then they participated in elections in 1952, etc. And then there is a split in the Communist Party itself. CPI, CPM, then all together CPI ML in 1967 onwards, all over India, especially in Telangana. So that is the general background. Whereas the separation that we were hinting at was from a state called Andhra Pradesh, which came into existence in 1956. That is in 1969 Telangana Praja Samiti, Telangana, separate Telangana movement. That is called Toli Udyamam. Then there is a Mali Udyamam, led by our KCR. So this is more of a cultural and political empowerment. It had nothing to do with getting out of the Indian Union, no secessionism, and there is no capturing power in Delhi. The Lenin model and the Mao model, these are the two models they had. By then, even Mao did not succeed. When Telangana armed struggle was initiated, Mao is yet to capture the mainland China. He did it on 1st October 1948. Whereas this was started in 1947. As soon as India became independent, they started fight against the feudal forces. Okay, that is one gap. The second is he was talking about this in the 24th years of its existence, Amazon at last made profit. So what was their business model? Their business model was certainly not profit and loss account. It is a game called valuation. So the share prices went up. They were not one bit interested in having profit after taxes. What they were interested in is expansion. 10 rupee share becoming 800, 900, 2000, 3000. That is how the richest man is Jeff Bezos. How? By just valuation, market capitalization. So it will be helpful if you know this part also. Otherwise, you could have simply said, sorry, sir, I don't know much about this business model. In any case, Flipkart itself is now owned by Walmart.
Yes.
Anyway, these are all very deep subjects, and he is a journalist in business, Hindu business line. He was the editor, so naturally he knows quite a lot. So he asked, but you need not needlessly, expose yourself to what you are not very strong. Try to avoid, because unless you come to this concept of valuation, it's a game. They are not bothered about the losses. They will exist. That is how even this Unacademy, Byju's, they are all wealth fund people have invested. You may say they are making profit, not at all. After 5 years, they'll sell their shares and disinvest. That is the valuation. They will give you the feedback.
Yeah, while agreeing to what the chairman has said, I don't want to repeat. Like your variety and depth of knowledge is quite good. Your understanding is good. You are cool. You are presentable. Very impressive. That is just to enhance your confidence, I am saying. Otherwise, I should not appreciate at this point of time before you go for the actual interview. So, that confidence has to be maintained. Quite good. I am impressed. Only one or two issues about the EODB. You know, all right. Then you should also know that here, just to get some ranks, on paper, some orders were being issued saying that the grievance will be redressed in 15 days. But then the proof of pudding lies in eating. So the method of giving ranking has changed. 2019, they started asking the actual entrepreneurs to put ghost applications and see how the reaction is going to be in the actual system. Then the responses, that's how Telangana has slipped a little bit and some states have improved. So that is what has actually happened. So therefore, there is no positive correlation between improvement in the ranking of UOTP and investment that are flowing. Okay, that's one point. I thought since you are doing well, like in other questions, your depth has been further improved by giving clarity on the topic. That is one. Two, you are also able to package your answers well. So that tempts the interviewer to put more questions. That's how I think we've taken reasonably good time to test you.
Full half an hour.
Full half an hour. Only thing is you are overwhelming and to such an extent that a simple thing like what happened in Jangaon recently, Vambati recently, where the treasure trove with some gold, 19 tulas of gold, some coins, etc. were found. So you should keep yourself abreast, including the day on which you are going for the interview, unless it is about 8 o'clock in the morning. You should keep yourself abreast. That will add value to your person.
This is your own local area. You studied in Warangal. 60 kilometers north of that is not north, south of it is your Jangaon.
Yeah, don't neglect the current happening.
Treasured.
In fact, your name is quite interesting. Sounds much like a Bengali name. Probably, I think you may have to do some explaining. Quite interesting for a Telangana person to have a name like this. What could be the reason? Just curious.
So the reason is that my mother has seen that name in a woman's magazine and she borrowed it from there.
Anyway, see, your explanation about the security culture is very, very shallow. Just very superficial. It's not just that, just because Muslim women also, carry the pots during this. At least I haven't come across any Muslim women carrying these pots and all. But anyway, since you said I take it on the face. But the point is actually, Telangana is placed in the Deccan Plateau, and Deccan is generally known for confluence of cultures. Confluence of cultures. And historically, if you see, right from Qutub Shahis and subsequently the Asaf Jahi dynasties and all that, Hyderabad, the Deccan Plateau was like a open Maidan. Anybody could come settle here because of the climate, because of the political conditions and all that. So people from all parts of the country they came here. That's why there is also a talk about even Ambedkar also said Hyderabad could be a second capital, national capital. So the confluence of cultures is very historical. It has got historical roots. Not just Hindus and Muslims doing the same Batkama or Dandiya, things like that. Okay? So it is, you have to give a better explanation of this, right? And I'm quite glad that, you have thrown light on this quad exercise. And I think by and large it's okay. Probably about lessons from the pandemic. Maybe you could have said a few things more like, the tragedy of labor, migrant states, long distances, all those very tragic pictures about them and all that. That part, that also raises questions about the migration of labor crisscrossing the entire country. Since because of the asymmetry in skills. Okay, so there is also need for bringing in some kind of a regulation. Who is coming from where, what is his condition, whether the employer is taking good care of it. There is also a need for bringing in a legislation, welfare kind of a legislation. So that's also another lesson that we can draw from this.
I think you got right on the side. Your profession now and what is happening around, I think will attract a lot of issues on digital India, e-commerce, all this. I think you, as we suggested, you get the basics right in terms of explaining. Otherwise, there is the um, chance of you straying off into unnecessary waters and then getting exposed. The other thing is, I think you should be very well versed with what's happening on a daily basis. Because you're looking at 24/7. I think when you go, I think top events of that day or so you can be. Otherwise, you're quite understanding is good just then.
Your answers are measured actually, quite measured, and you are not just jumping to answer a question. You are taking a nice good pause, and you just maintain that. And as if you are respecting the question and you are reflecting on it and then responding to it. That's a good technique.
But receptive and you are taking the cue to, but then don't take the wrong cue.
Yeah, the packaging of answer is quite
good.
comprehensive.
Anything you want to ask us?
I think I have got good enough feedback and information. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.